right, welcome back to Studio 39, aka the Bear Cave. I'm Rob Odie, and we've got another episode of Spotlight 39. We've got another young man with another story to tell. Very excited to get into it. But before we do, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you turn on notifications because we're dropping new episodes on a daily basis, sometimes several a day, man. It's really exciting to see how many young athletes are starting to reach out, as well as coaches and parents. We're continuing to grow this platform, and I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes. So, with that being said, please subscribe because it really does go a long way in helping these young athletes. Now that that's out the way, let's get into the conversation. I'm gonna let you introduce yourself. Tell us who you are, where you're from, what you play, and we're gonna have some conversation. Floor is
All right,
yours.
sounds good. Sounds good. Thank you for having me. My name is Jared Beatty. I'm from Aurora, Illinois. I go to Oswego East High School. I'm a two-sport athlete. For football, I play outside linebacker, and for basketball, I'm a combo guard.
Fantastic, man. Class of what?
Class of 2022.
Class of 22. So, were you fortunate enough to have a football season this year or no?
No, in Illinois, they pushed it back to spring, so we're just
That's
trying
what
to
I heard.
stay and
Yeah.
keep working.
Good deal, man. Yeah, actually, I had Coach Solomon, who is a part owner of Fist Academy,
Okay.
which they specialize. They're actually based out of the Chicago area, which is pretty cool. But they
hmm
specialize in everything offense and defensive line.
hmm
Had him on just I uploaded his episode yesterday, so it's pretty cool to meet another person from the area.
Yeah.
So, two sport athlete, right? Let's talk about football first, right? Because obviously that's the main event.
Sounds good.
What are some things that really make you stand out? What are some strengths that you've either recognized or your coaches talk you up on?
I definitely think my speed and versatility are the things that really help me stand out. I run a 4.49
Okay,
40. Um, I definitely think I can get that down. I wasn't at my prime when I ran that. Definitely think I've improved. So definitely speed for sure, and ability to play a whole lot of different positions. The college coaches I've talked to, some coaches have me playing the DN, some coaches have me outside linebacker, some have me in a nickel or a strong safety. So I
okay,
really can just play any position on the defense that you really need me to, and I'm really just a big playmaker for sure.
that's awesome, man. So when you said you ran a 4.49, how long
hmm
ago was that?
That was about, I want to say, beginning of summer, so
Okay,
or 5 months ago.
okay, so you got a little bit of time, right? So what are you doing to get a little faster? What are you working on?
Definitely just because of my top end speed, being how it is, me being 6'4" and long, I think that's not the biggest focus. My biggest focus right now has been my start, my first step,
Sure.
making sure I'm getting out so that it can really be my best chance to get that time down.
Nice, nice. Yeah, no, that's
hmm
awesome, man. So we'll flip it, right? And
hmm
what's an opportunity area that you're really focusing on, or coaches coaching you up on? Maybe it was last year and you've gone into quarantine and really stepped it up, or whatever it may be. If you don't mind sharing something that you've recognized or been coached on that you're getting better at.
I definitely think first and foremost, my strength. Going into my sophomore season last year, I was pretty inexperienced in the weight room. I knew how to lift, I knew what I was doing. I just didn't have the experience that I think I needed to really make a big difference on the varsity field. So I went through in quarantine, said I need to get bigger, I need to get stronger. I gained 15, 20 pounds over that quarantine, really
Awesome.
put the work in. So that for sure, and then secondly, my technique for sure, being a pass rusher and being able to cover in space. Definitely worked on my technique, watched a lot of film, just improving my overall IQ of the game for sure.
Man, that's huge. Yeah, so definitely got you on the right path, right? So, big bodied, gain some weight, but still keeping your speed down, building
Definitely.
that core, which is great, man. If you want, we can kind of jump over to the court, man, and you can talk to us a little bit about what you do on the basketball court.
Sounds good. Basketball wise, I definitely think what sets me apart is my ability to do everything on the court. When I first started playing basketball, I started off playing the 4 and 5, just being a big man, kind of a bruiser, kind of because I had grown
Sure.
quickly. But having talks with my dad around middle school, I realized I wasn't going to be a 6'10" dude. So he really had me focus on working on those guard skills. So that translating and me being a big guy now, a big guard, those skills translate well. I can go in the post, but I can also run the 1 and 2, which is my most comfortable positions right now. I can really shoot it. So just versatility and also just defensive toughness. I think that really comes from football, just not
Yeah,
being afraid of any contact, anything like that. So I'm not going to back down from anything.
I was about to say put that big body on him, right?
Yes, sir.
Awesome, man. So let's go into the classroom, man. Let's talk about those grades. How are they looking?
Um, they're looking good right now. I have a 3.6 GPA, but
That's awesome.
as of right, I honestly think I can do much better. My freshman year, I got a little unfocused, and
Okay.
I think I think I can get it up for sure. Right now, as during this semester, I'm currently at a 4.1 GPA, and I'm really proud of that. So
As you should be. Yeah, for sure.
I'm just trying to keep that going, and just improve as much as possible.
That's awesome, man. Have you had the opportunity to take your ACTs or anything like
Uh,
that?
I took the SAT, but I haven't gotten my results back.
Okay. Did you do it
Yeah.
Saturday morning after a game Friday night?
No, I actually, because we didn't have a season, but
Oh,
we
true,
had
true.
it was an early Saturday morning, and I was like, I gotta get it done.
Yeah, man, that tends to always be the case when Darius was going through it, man. He had a real hard fought game, and then the
Hmm.
next morning, crack of dawn, it felt like he was getting up going to take the test. So,
Right.
yeah, that tends to be the trend. But cool, man. So you've got the grades. You've obviously got a huge amount of talent. The future is super bright. And
Hmm.
let's talk a little bit about that future, right? So obviously, if we look at your Twitter, we look at your social media, you've got a handful of offers out there right now.
Yes, sir.
If you don't mind kind of walking us through what some of those opportunities are and really how they came about, because I think that's a big deal for other young athletes looking for opportunities or looking to get that first conversation. It's always nice to see how they start and really where they begin.
Okay. I definitely think what I would stress to these young athletes is just be patient and stay ready for sure, because most of my offers came out of the blue. I've been talking to a lot of schools, and they haven't been the ones to offer me, but I've gotten offers from schools I never even talked to before. I just recently got the Arizona State University offer last night. Um, I had never talked to them prior.
Really?
So he just um texted me, said, Jared, can you hop on a call real quick? I said, sounds good. Gave him a call and gave me the offer after telling me a little bit about the program and a little bit about what he saw in me.
Okay.
Also, I think another really unique situation, my first offer was from Kent State University.
Yep.
Um, that came my sophomore year, and me being an underclassman and with the rules, them not being able to directly contact me.
Yep.
um, what my coach would do is he had coaches from different colleges come in, and he'd call us down, and we just introduce ourselves, shake hands, and they just get able to look at us and just ask us a few questions, what do we play, stuff like that. So I had come
Everything
down one day.
informal.
Yeah, very
Yeah.
informal, super informal. I had come down one day, shook hands with Kent State, and I just thought it was a routine thing. I'd done it probably 10, 12 times before that with other coaches. Went back to class, and I was in math class. I think probably 10 minutes later, I got a text from my coach, said Kent State offer. And I was
Wow.
like, at that point, I wasn't even sure what he meant by offered. So if you look at the text thread, I said like a scholarship, coach, like, is that what you mean?
Like, like, what does it mean? Like, do they offer me to come say hi? They want
Yeah,
me to come check out the facility. Like, what's that look like, right?
exactly. I was confused, really taken aback, really surprised. He said, "Yes, sir, it's full ride scholarship. That's all they can give you." And I was like, "Wow!" Like I was just taken aback. I don't think I learned one thing in that class
That
period.
math class was gone, right?
Right? I was like it was just it just happened so quickly. Like they just all that work you put in, all the grinds, all the late nights, early mornings, and quick as that, your dreams have come through true. And I just think it's really cool that these opportunities can come when you least expect it. That's my
Yes.
biggest.
So, uh, how much of that has come from Twitter, if you don't mind me asking?
Um, I would say Twitter is what gets you in the door to other colleges after you get that first one.
Yeah,
Um, the first one is what really gets other colleges looking at you. They're like, oh, so this guy, he can play at the D1 level. Another D1 college
sure.
offered. Then they're going to go look at your film. Then it goes up the levels, and then
Yep.
it just opens up opportunities from there. So, definitely each offer that adds up on that Twitter profile, that's going to get your reach farther and farther. If you're blessed enough to get it from different conferences, then those conferences that one school offered from you,
Sure,
those
sure.
other schools are going to look at you as well. So,
Yeah, once you
um,
get, one SEC school, you're gonna
right,
probably gonna have a trickle down effect. Same thing with like the Big Ten and Pac-12 and all that good stuff. So
exactly,
yeah, man, that's
exactly.
awesome. That is super well said because I try to stress, the fact that you've got to keep your social media clean, obviously,
Yes, for sure.
but ultimately you've got to be able to sell yourself as well. You've got to be able to put your film out there, put yourself out
Hmm.
there, and really get get the coaches to see who you are,
Hmm.
rather than just flood DMs or flood. I see a lot of times, man, a coach will post, that they're looking at XYZ position, out of this class, and then they'll
In the
have
comments.
yeah, and then you have like 100 comments,
Hmm.
kids dropping their film, which is cool, but you also have to take it a step further and really reach out
Yeah,
to that coach,
for
because
sure.
you could easily get overlooked if a big time coach posts and there's 400 comments. You're going to fall somewhere in the mix, and you may not get that opportunity.
I
So
agree.
no, that's pretty cool, man.
I think the
So
big thing is definitely what I did is I had my coach help me out with ordering the tape, the highlight tape to have my best highlights first.
sure,
Um, he being connected with a few college coaches, he understands what they're looking for in terms of showcasing athleticism, what are real big plays instead of just some garbage highlight plays. You know what I mean?
oh yeah, yeah,
So
definitely,
so he really helped me order that. And as soon as he finished with that, he said, all right, now send these out to coaches that you would want to like be interested in going into
sure.
school. So me not having any offers at the time, I took the time. I think it took me about a month. I looked up every D1 college coach's email in the country, and I sent it
Nice.
through. It was a long process, but it was definitely worth it for
Oh
sure.
yeah. So you put in the footwork, and
You,
obviously, now it's starting to come to surface, and you've got some opportunities that
that,
you're now going to be in a very blessed situation to choose, what best fits you, right? So kind of like we chatted before we went live, it was very similar to where Darius was, and you know he ultimately decided to go UMaine, and
mhm,
it's crazy how different levels of success are measured and what road you take to get there. But at the end of the day, you've got to you got to build that road brick by brick per se, right? So
definitely.
no, man, that's awesome. I appreciate you really digging into detail because I think that can help out a lot. Um, Anything on the basketball side? Any opportunities there, or for the most part,
Basketball
just
definitely been a little bit rougher
okay,
in recruiting. I didn't have the opportunity to play varsity basketball because I had just come off an injury.
okay,
So they wanted, and our varsity team was very senior heavy. So my coach, him and me had a conversation. He said, "Look, we do believe you have the opportunity to play varsity basketball. You have the talent for sure, but we want to keep you on the sophomore team, build chemistry with them, um, and just get your legs back under you, get back in the groove of playing basketball."
oh yeah,
And um, that ultimately worked out in terms of winning because we went undefeated that season. Um, so, and also with COVID and everything, that really messes up recruiting because
big time.
AAU is the main recruiting thing, and
Oh
with
yeah.
that being canceled, I wasn't able to get any film out. So,
Yeah. So with it's funny you mentioned AAU. What about on the football side? Do you have any planned camps or off season like 7 versus 7 leagues or anything like that? In the works?
um, with the camp situation, it's very, very
Hit or miss with COVID, yeah.
hit or miss for sure with COVID. I was able to get out to one before everything kind of got a little weird. It was the Rise and Fire camp. I think
Okay.
that really helped me from like a hello. Hold on. Hello.
Somebody took over your line.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Sorry. Somebody was saying
Okay.
hello.
Oh, you're good. You're good. All right. So yeah, that Rise and Fire was helped me from a recruiting profile standpoint. Rivals 24/7.
Okay.
Um, I was able to talk to the Army All-American Scout.
Awesome.
So I think that really just helped me connect with different things that could help me with college coaches for sure.
Yeah, most definitely. No, anytime you can get into camps, man, that's big time.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, Darius, he went to a rivals camp at UVA, tore his
Hmm.
ACL, had to sit out a season, but then came back
Wow.
even stronger. Went to a
Exactly.
rivals camp in Charlotte, North Carolina, and ran a 4.36.
Hmm.
So yeah, so it was crazy how it happened. Initially he was having a hard time grasping the idea of having to sit out a season. He lost a lot of opportunities because of that.
Right.
And then once he hit that 40 speed, eyes started to open up again, and
Exactly.
that's when some things started happening.
Hmm.
Um, so let's get away from all the sports stuff, man, because obviously you've got tons of talent, and you speak for yourself, but what do you do outside of being an athlete? Who are you as a person? What are you involved with? What do you like to do?
First and foremost, I'm a man of God, so I'm very involved with my church. With COVID, I haven't been able to get over there as much, but um, me and my family, we watch the service online every week.
Awesome.
Before that, I was going to youth groups, being involved in that. Um, also, I take very big importance in work, being able to provide for myself, so I don't have to put that stress on my parents. So
Awesome.
I work over at I have a job, so it's really just balancing school, sports, work, and keeping God first with it all.
So you're a very busy man.
Yeah, for sure.
Multi sports, super involved outside of the sport, and then
Hmm.
on top of it, you've got a job that you're pretty passionate about as well.
Yep.
I mean, that speaks volume to exactly who you are as a person, man.
Hmm.
The future is bright. I'm very excited to see where it takes you.
Thank you,
So
sir.
we're not going to take up a whole lot more of your time. We've been chatting for a little bit now, but I'm just going to end it with the same thing I end every conversation, and that's what motivates and what drives you to want to wake up tomorrow and be that much more successful than you were today.
Um, I definitely say my parents. My parents work very hard. There's been some rough times, and they've never not provided for me. And I want to be that person that can come back 10 years down the road and say, you don't have to work anymore.
That's
So
beautiful, man.
I really think my parents motivate me. My sisters, my siblings, I want to make sure they're okay. And just seeing the work ethic my dad has, he's worked overnights, he's worked different jobs. It doesn't matter. He's gonna get the work done. I really try and take that to heart and instill that in my own life.
No, man, that's very well said. That's obviously anytime you've got something that deep that continues to feed the hunger, man, you're
Mhm.
you're gonna ball out. That's for sure. So again, man, I appreciate your time. I wish you nothing but the best. Hopefully, we get to run this back at some point as your career progresses. Obviously, you've got an open door if and whenever you're
Mhm.
ready to narrow down, top choices or full blown commitment. Obviously, I'd love to have you.
Right.
But I'm going to ask the viewers out there to continue to subscribe, man. I can't stress it enough. It doesn't cost a dime to hit the subscribe. It sounds kind of cheesy, but the reality is it really does help out these young athletes and getting more exposure and more opportunity looks than they normally would. So please hit that subscribe button. And with that, man, again, I appreciate your time. I'm Rob Odie. This was another episode of Spotlight 39. Until next time, I'll chat with you.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me on.
Thank you.